ESPN is reporting that Manny Pacquiao and Errol Spence are in advanced talks to potentially fight next, and I want to make a video about that. Stay tuned to this video. What up, Fight World? It's your boy Ego, and I'm back with some more boxing. Make sure you smash the like button. Also subscribe to my channel for the latest and greatest in boxing. If you want to get views on YouTube, use my link in the description to get TUBEBUDDY. TUBEBUDDY is an awesome browser extension to help you take your YouTube channel to the next level, regardless of what genre you're in. Gaming, you do makeup tutorials, a cooking channel, doesn't matter. TUBEBUDDY can help. I've been using it for years. I used it for videos like this. Started off at 0 subscribers. We're over 200,000 and counting. So use TUBEBUDDY, learn from me. I was looking for something that would help and assist with just some of the odds and ends, the under the hood stuff when being a YouTube creator, when you're trying to figure everything out. So consider TUBEBUDDY. It's a great way to help your own channel. What are you on the platform for if you don't want to make money, get views, that kind of thing? So definitely get TUBEBUDDY. Now, I made a video about this, but I want to talk about it some more. Errol Spence and Manny Pacquiao, according to ESPN knockout sources, they're reportedly in talks to potentially fight. This comes after news that Manny Pacquiao and Terrence Crawford negotiations are pretty much dead in the water at a standstill, because they were talking about doing that fight in the UAE and in Abu Dhabi, and they said the investors or the people who were supposed to be coming up with the money didn't come up with the money. So as a result, that was the only way the fight was going to get done. It wasn't going to happen. And see, right then and there, that's a problem to me when you have a black American fighter like Terrence Crawford, right? And he fought his whole career in America. He's a talented fighter, but they're talking about him having to fight overseas. Like, what part of the game is that? It's like Floyd Mayweather was the highest grosser. He made $1 billion in boxing. He's the highest grossing act. He never had to go to Dubai and Abu Dhabi and different places like that to make bread, to make money, to make noise, to make big events. So I'm wondering, why is that the case now? Pacquiao left the Philippines, came to America, became a huge star. So what part of the game is that? That's why I didn't see that fight happening. But more bad news for Terrence Crawford as he enters his 30s. He's 33, let's say, somewhere around there. He can't get the big fights. It doesn't look like. So at the end of the day, you're looking at it and he's not getting any younger. Meanwhile, you have all these up and coming fighters, and you know, they're on their journey, and it looks like look at Teofimo. Teofimo, in a short space of time, he's already fought and has majority of the belts outside of the discrepancy with Devin Haney, the WBC belt. And he did this in a matter of like two years or something. Lomachenko's about to fight Nakatani, and Teofimo already beat Nakatani. So as you see, Teofimo, for someone who's so young, in their 20s, he's coming along and making it way. He already has a Lomachenko win. Meanwhile, the big names have eluded Terrence Crawford. I have so many different, outlooks. Crawford, I'm going to keep saying the same thing. He's a talented fighter, but he hasn't played the game of boxing well in terms of the politics and the business and the branding and making sure he was aligned or secured the big fights. And now if Errol Spence fights Manny Pacquiao, that's going to be crazy, because Crawford was telling you, not you personally, but he's telling the fans that he deserves 50-50 with Errol Spence. I don't see any way he's going to get those things if Errol Spence continues doing the heavy lifting. If he fights Pacquiao, that's a Hall of Famer, former multi-division champion, the only guy in history to go up 8 weight classes and be successful. He's a guy who's been fighting since the 90s and is still relevant somehow, fighting top names like Keith Thurman in his last fight and beating him and blooding him up. He fought Floyd Mayweather. He fought Oscar. Bunch of classic fights with Marquez. You know what I'm saying? This is a Hall of Famer. Ricky Hatton got brutal. It's going to brutal knockouts, and he's definitely part of the boxing history books. So for Crawford to not be able to get that fight, it's going to be a bigger spit in the face, I guess you could say, if Errol Spence gets it. How is it that PBC, guys like Broner, Keith Thurman, and possibly Errol Spence get a Manny Pacquiao fight with seemingly no problems, but they've been linking Crawford's name to Pacquiao for like 7-8 years, and it never really seems close. And for whatever reason, Crawford this whole time keeps telling people in interviews that his team's working on it. So, whatever. But as far as Errol Spence and Pacquiao, I think it's a great fight as well. It's a big fight, big money fight, especially coming off of kind of a slow pandemic year where, a couple guys like Errol Spence and Gervonta, Lomachenko, and Tio had big fights, but it was the beginning of the pandemic year, so there was a lot of unknown, no live gates, things like that. So a lot of adjusting that was needed early on, especially. But now things are slowly starting to open up. UFC 261 last night, classic card, vicious knockout. Congrats to Nigeria and Africa, Usman. He knocked out Jorge Masvidal in brutal fashion, and they had a full crowd, and you felt it. You felt the energy. I hope everyone's being healthy and stuff like that, but it was good to see a crowd and hear the oohs and ahs when they had the brutal knockouts with Thug Rose and also Usman, stuff like that. So with crowds coming back, the Errol Spence fight, would be lit if he fights Pacquiao. So I'm not going to say too much because we have to see what happens. Boxing is a crazy sport. I told you, Ego Stradamus strikes again. I did not see Terrence Crawford and Pacquiao happening. And according to multiple reports, it looks like that fight has reached, the point where it's considered no longer feasible for next. And they're saying Pacquiao switching gears for Errol. Another terrific fight. Again, this just pushes Errol Spence farther up the ladder, especially if he can beat a Manny Pacquiao. And it hurts Terrence Crawford's bargaining power because at this point, he's fighting Kell Brook and Jose Cito or Sean Porter, guys that Keith Thurman and Errol Spence beat. They could be good fights for sure, but how are you going to take the lead if you're fighting guys that PBC fighters like Berto and Keith Thurman and Errol already beat years ago? It's kind of hard to do that in my opinion. But we'll see how it all plays out. We'll see what happens with the Errol Spence, Manny Pacquiao. We'll see if they can get it done and all that. Again, thanks to everyone who used my link to got ESPN Plus, and also consider TubeBuddy. Drop your thoughts in the comment section as always. Hate, comment, and subscribe. Till next video is Ego signing off. Are you tired of your YouTube videos not getting any views? Well, consider TubeBuddy. I've used TubeBuddy for years to scale up my YouTube channel. Now we're sitting over 200,000 subscribers. TubeBuddy is a browser extension that offers a ton of built-in productivity and time-saving services to take your channel to the next level. Use my link in the description to get started with TubeBuddy and level up your channel faster. We working. So if you enjoyed this video and want more content like this on the channel, you can show your appreciation by going to the PayPal donate button or the YouTube support button, and you can donate any amount that you feel is equivalent to the value of this video. Much more to come. Thank you guys for your support. Boxingego, the future of boxing.